but I always will give some because if someone's in need, and what I find is that it always gives my heart so much. And
Yep.
then the more it gives my heart, the more I want to keep on sharing. And there's never any effort in it, Kyle. It's always, it just
Yeah.
comes so easy. So that's what I want to share because if you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck, just give out to someone.
That's good.
And then what you get back, it just sustains. At least it does for me. So that's what I wanted to share.
I love that. Thank you, Pixie. That is like one of the greatest life principles right there. The more you give, the more blessed you will be, the more energized you will be, the more that you will receive, right? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I love, love, love hearing that. So thank you for sharing. That's a great way to get started. Guys, what I want to do today is, if you don't mind, get a paper and get a pen. I'm going to ask you to take this real quick quiz, and we're going to talk about what it means for you. So grab a paper, grab a pen, and I'm going to walk you through something. I know I've told you guys many times that, 2.5 years ago, we did this thing called Life Plan, and it's a 2-day deep dive in your life. Well, anyways, 21 different frameworks is what you go through over 2 days. One of the frameworks I just really like. It tells if I knew everyone's thinking wavelength and internal wiring, I could know everything about you. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to discover our own. And I want y'all to have this revelation because it's really cool. Okay. So pen and paper, here we go. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask one, two, three, four, five, just 6 questions. And you're going to rank these on a scale from 1 to 10. One meaning absolutely cannot tolerate any way, shape, or form, can't function. 10 meaning, oh, I function great in that lane, and I can live in that lane. A high ambiguity, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So, like, here's the first one. You ready? Let me explain this. One, or on this side of the curve is risk adverse. Are you risk adverse? Or 10, do you welcome risk? What in between that? Are you a five? Are you a three? Are you a two? One is risk averse. That's the side of risk averse. 10 is the side of you really welcome risk. Grade yourself on that, 1 through 10. Okay, number two. We're going to write it in here in a minute, Lucy. Number two, do you resist change or do you embrace change? Rank yourself on that, 1 through 10. One would be you highly resist it, 10 would be you highly embrace it. Okay, now number three. How can you, when you function in business and in life, just in general, is it few variables or is it many variables? Like, do you not operate well with many variables or can you operate well? Rank yourself 1 through 10. 10 would be, oh, I can function really high with a lot of variables. One would be, no, 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 I don't want any variables. I need it very straightforward. I need it simple and I don't need a lot floating out there. Okay. Number four, are you one step at a time or are you quantum leaps? What kind of process do you like? Rank yourself 1 through 10. One step at a time, or quantum leaps would be upwards, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, number five. Do you have a low tolerance for ambiguity? I can never say that word. Or do you have a high tolerance for ambiguity? By the way, there are no wrong answers. 1 through 10, if you're all ones or if you're all tens, be honest with yourself because this is about to reveal something about the way that God wired you, your internal wiring, or excuse me, your thinking wavelength. There's no wrong answer. So don't think the higher you get to 10, the better, or the lower you get to one. No, no, no. Rank yourself accurately. And then the last one, number six, are you problem or task oriented or are you opportunity oriented? And I'm going to go through these one more time and just kind of verify your number, if you will. Again, no wrong answers. So on the one side, you have risk adverse. 10 side, you have welcomes risk. That's number one, risk. How do you feel about risk? Number two, how do you feel about change? Do you resist change? Do you embrace change? Number three, how do you operate with a lot of variables? You prefer few variables or many variables? Where you operate in that? Number four, one step at a time or quantum leaps? Number five, low tolerance for ambiguity, or high tolerance for ambiguity. And then number six again, problem task oriented or opportunity oriented. Okay, now, once you have your numbers, you should have written down 6 numbers. Okay. Now I want you to add those 6 numbers up and divide by 10. And your decimals matter, at least to one decimal point. Add them up, divide by 10. And you can start throwing uh, your numbers if you want in the chat. Again, no wrong answers. 3.8, yes. 2.8, I like it. 5.2, 4. Awesome. It's so good. 3, 4.7, 0.1. Wow, this is awesome. This is so revealing. I love this. 4, yes. Okay, yes, 3.7. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I like it. Okay, let me now explain what this means, okay? All right, here's what it
5.
means. All right. So if you are somewhere in between, there's going to be 5 different categories that we're gonna put ourselves in. If you're somewhere between about a 0 and a 2.5, you're what's called a grinder. If you're in between like a 2.5 and a 4.5, you're a minder. If you're a 4.5 to about a 7, you're a keeper. If you're a 7 to about a 9, you're a finder. And if you're a 9 to a 10, you're a conceiver. Okay, now let me walk you through just very briefly what some of these are. Let's start at the top. A conceiver. Let's say you scored a 9 or a 10, which no one on here scored a 9 or a 10, but let me explain that type of people. That type of people is the Elon Musk of the world. They're like, I can create and envision things that most people on this planet can't envision, right? Like I will create something out of nothing. I'm a conceiver. David Schmidt is a conceiver, right? He invents. He's a conceiver, okay? Now, let's go to the next one. Roughly 7 to a 9. This is where I fall. I'm like a 7.8 or an 8, okay? I'm a finder. That means like I can be a visionary, but I want to find things that are already out there. I'm not going to invent something. I'm not going to conceive something, but I am constantly looking, dreaming, like running towards things to try to find whatever it is opportunity to grab a hold of, right? That's just how my brain works. Then you have keepers. Again, keepers are 4.5 to about a 7. These are people that can find things. That's not the lane they operate in, but they do a really good job at keeping things together, like a real good job. Somebody's already found something and somebody needs the work done. They're like a perfect kind of in the middle of, I can sometimes dream with you a little bit, but I can also really get into the logistics and the weeds. I'm a keeper. I'm a little bit of both. And then you got the minders and the grinders. Certainly a grinder, if we go all the way to 0.2, you're like, hey, I operate best whenever you tell me what to do and I do it. And you don't really give me any other tasks for the day. You just say, I need you to do this. This is one task. I need you to do it all day long. And you're like, sweet, living my best life. That's all I needed. A minder, a little bit more. A minder's like, hey, I'm very task oriented, but I can also manage. Like you can also give me a bunch of grinders and I can handle a whole bunch of grinders, but I need my to-do list every day and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna crush it. Right? But don't make me think or plan like the next big idea. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to conceive and burst something out of nothing, right? Do these make sense? Do these in any way are you like that's me? Like that is kind of me. This tells you a lot about how God created you. Again, this is your thinking wavelength. This is just how you think. And so when you find yourself, like for example, I can only use me, and then I would like for some of you to maybe share a little bit about what's on your heart. But like for me, if you told me, hey Kyle, for the rest of your life, you're going to do this one thing and this is your task and you're going to do it, I would lose my mind because I wake up every day with a dream and with a vision and I'm trying to like run and chase and find and search and like I know that there's so much out there that I want to go, not necessarily conceive, but man, I want to find things that other people haven't found and I want to go pursue them and crush them, right? Like that's my thing. I can't do the same thing every day. That's why for the life of like I pay our CPA probably way too much money because I cannot handle the logistics and the details. Like I understand taxes and I understand how to save and invest and things of that nature, but I don't want to actually do and write it out. No, no, no. I'll do it all and I'll give it to you. You figure out all the details, right? Joe and I are both like that. We do not do well with the basics and the logistics. That's why what we found about 3 years ago is if we're going to actually function as a business couple together, we have to have an assistant because we're both activators as well. So we'll think of something and we'll go do it and we'll do it and we'll get it started and then there's no follow through because the actual like get after it, the minders, the keepers that actually get the work done, that's not us. We found it, we're going to pursue it, we're going to lead people to it. Does that make sense? Okay, tell me about some of you guys. I want to learn. So what are y'all thinking? Just unmute yourself and share if you had a revelation through that. By the way, from a 0 to a 5, you're going to operate best probably as in an administrative role or an operational role. And if you're like a 5 to a 10, you're probably going to operate best in a strategic developmental role. And if you're hearing this and reading it, you're like, that doesn't really sound like me. Well, you could have been off. It might not be perfect, but
So I can speak up, Kyle.
yeah,
I would say that maybe I didn't score myself accurately because when you're
yeah.
reading everything off, I would say that I'm more in that finder range. But because I'm always looking, I mean, I've owned multiple businesses. I've always tried to, look at all the scenarios and how the business works and everything. And I'm always trying to find what's the next best thing? What's the next? My mind
Mm,
doesn't shut off
mm.
when it comes to that. But also, I scored on here in the minder range and task orientated. I mean, I have that too. I've done all my bookkeeping, I've done all that. So I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. I guess.
You might be a keeper. You might
Okay.
see and appreciate both sides.
Yes. Yep. So
Yeah,
interesting. Thank you.
that's cool. Thank you, Julie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would resonate with that as well because you said be honest. I'm like, all right, I'm pretty high in most of these, but I really hate change. I'm quite stubborn and I really hate ambiguity. Ambiguity.
Yeah.
Um, but everything like I love taking risk. I mean, born poor, it's like what's not to risk? But then when you said about lists, I mean, my desk is covered in to-do lists. Like I have lists and then I have lists for lists. And it's like I just moved houses and I found a list from a year ago and it was talking about promote the This Is It convention. And I'm like, okay, I did about half of that list and then I got distracted with another list. So it's kind of interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah. And, hey, listen, I mean, I'm an 8. I still make lists. I'm not saying that I don't make lists, but that's good, Jonah.
Hey Kyle,
Hey, Chad.
how you been? I've been off the grid a little bit. My other business kind of took me away. I had to go make
go.
120 customers in the state of Florida happy that they haven't seen me. The excuse of me building a house and having prostate surgery didn't fly too well. So
Oh man,
I had to
okay,
go,
let's
I had to
go.
go burn up some road miles and start doing other stuff. So
I
anyway,
hear you.
I this is pretty good, a good little exercise, but I mean, I scored a 3.8, but
Yeah.
nah, I think almost everything that comes across my desk, I fluctuate. You know, I don't. I'm open to opportunity. I'm open to list. I'm open to getting it off my desk. It just, it's hard to put yourself in one category.
Sure.
Don't have the bank account that Elon Musk has, but so
Yeah.
I'm definitely not up there. But everything else, I think you fluctuate, and
Oh, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, when you said a 3.8, I saw yours come through first, and I was like, I'm gonna put you a little higher than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, but I'm also the type of person when something comes across my desk, I don't have time to make a list. I just get it done.
You get it.
It
Yeah.
has to
Yeah.
get done and get cleared, or that
Yep.
bothers me. So if you looked at my desk right now, there's one piece of torn up paper
Yep.
where I tore off a pad, and the desk is perfectly clean. So
See. Okay.
that's how I
See,
operate.
I almost put you in that keeper, position, that like middle. You can appreciate both sides because I promise you, I've got stuff everywhere that I have not done, because I'm just like squirrel. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Uh, that's good. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Hey, so I don't know if I put my score up there, but I'm a keeper and I can
Okay.
appreciate both sides. And I love when someone finds something new. I'm like, I am on board. Like I'm a yes girl. Like, yeah, I'm doing everything when really I can't do everything. Lists, my office, I won't even show you it because it's actually embarrassing, but my mind works like chaos, I think. I have like papers everywhere, but if you told me to go find something, I'd be like, right there. I would win those awards with your purse.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a cool experience, but I
Cool.
didn't know what ambiguity meant. I had to
Yeah.
research that while you guys were writing your numbers. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. But
Me too.
but I do like things with more than one meaning. I think that's
Yeah.
really cool because I'm a good debater and I like to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's that.
Hey, that's cool. Thank you, Shannon. That's so cool. I think honestly, I think this business brings out a lot of keepers. I do. Because it's like you can appreciate both sides. You can really see vision and like opportunity, but you can also get things done. And so I do think a lot of people in direct sales are in that, 3, 5 to 7 range, if you will, for sure. So that's super cool. Okay, I got one more. I got one more. I want you to write down, and this one's quick, but I want you to write down these 4 things real quick. You have primary ideas, you have secondary ideas, you have people, and you have things. Now, these 4 things are all our comfort zones. Okay? So as you're staring at these 4 things, I want you to think literally about your comfort zone. If these 4 things were all a horse, for example, primary ideas, secondary ideas, people, and things. There's 4 horses in a race, and that's their label. Who wins in your life? Circle it. Okay. Then I want you to write down one more thing. Now, this is going to be your driver. So that's your comfort zone. That's what you operate well in. Now, what's your driver? Write down these 4 things. Primary leadership. Number 2 is secondary leadership. Number 3 is presentation. Number 4 is contribution. Just evaluate yourself. Where do you thrive? What's your driver? What drives you to your comfort zone? Are you a primary leader? Like you're totally comfortable being the guy, being the gal, like you are a primary leader. Your primary leadership? Are you secondary leadership? Like you can totally lead, but you'd really prefer there to be somebody else that's kind of the tip of the spear and a little bit more so in charge. Are you presentation? Like, man, you crush presentation. You can crush that all day long. Are you contribution? Like you are all about contributing and helping the team get to where they want to be. What's your driver? And then once you have those, let's talk about this. You're more than welcome to throw them in the chat. You can also unmute.
Can you go back over to the first four primary
Sure.
ideas, secondary ideas, people, things that you dwell into that? 'Cause I'm like,
Sure.
what?
So, for example, primary idea. Let's go back to Elon Musk and David Schmidt. They're the inventors. They want to be the primary. Like they conceived the idea.
Okay.
You thrive. Your comfort zone is in coming up with new ideas. You are the primary idea guy.
Okay.
Secondary ideas are, you love a good idea and you can run with it, but you're not going to come up with it. Like you don't want to invent it. But if you find something that's cool, you can get in that wheelhouse.
Okay.
Or are you just about people? You want to operate through and with people. And it's more about the people than it is necessarily who came up with what idea or how good is it. It's about the people.
Yeah.
Or are you more about the things, You're let me give you, maybe this will help. Let me give you what my internal wiring is. I'm primary leadership through people pointing to secondary ideas. So I can be a primary leader, but I want to run with people and I want to run on a really cool idea that somebody else has created. I don't want to create the idea.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Which is why obviously here we go, LifeWave, right? Like it's all about people. It's with a great idea that somebody else has created.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people, I mean, as I look at this coming from a lifetime of sales background, I've been in sales all my life. Um, to be successful in the sales world, not necessarily the direct sales world. The direct sales world is a whole different animal compared to sales. You have to play in a lot of these fields to be successful in the traditional sales world. That's why traditional
Good.
salespeople don't make good direct salespeople because they can't leave a lot of this. It's
Man,
out
that's
it's out there in the wild, wild, wild west.
that's true, isn't it?
It really is.
That is so true.
It really is.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah. This is really cool.
Who else? Who else wants to share? Thank you for sharing that, Chad.
Mhm.
This one was really interesting for me, Kyle. I love people, and I mentioned earlier I was born to a poor family, so that's something that I've learned. I think is the most valuable asset besides time and health is people and relationships. And every time I've moved to a new city or a new state, my thing has always been music. So I would get like, okay, who's
Yep.
the best musicians in the area? I'm going to produce a concert, and we're all going to have this cool, sober, like community event, and it's my idea, but it's kind of like taking from other people's, like for example, I play music but I can't read a single note, so I would always hire better musicians than me and create a band. I would tell them my idea, they would be able to execute it. It was kind of my vision, but I'm like, all right, you guys lead, I'll have the idea, but you guys execute the
That's super
plan.
cool.
Yeah. And so now, I'm in St. Pete, so I'm getting ready. Hopefully in about a month, I'm going to have my first event. I promised Sarah I'd have a minimum of 30 people there, but it's all about like, okay, who's already here? How can I establish
No doubt.
connections in the community? So it's people, but then the second part was a little tricky because I love to be the leader. I've always said
Yep.
like if you want stuff done right, you got to do it yourself. I love that aspect, but it's because it's people, it's also contribution. This whole life is forgiving all of nature, every single creature in nature except for maybe mosquitoes. They give back, and they thrive by helping life for everybody else be better. That's why this business is so awesome.
Yeah.
But I would have to say people and contribution, but that was a tricky one. That was a fun one.
Yeah, that's fun, right? That's cool, man. That's cool. Joe is presentation and primary ideas. My wife. Like she wants to make sure the presentation looks right, looks good, presenting whatever it is. And she is a number four, which means she wants all things unique. So she does like primary ideas. However, her number twos for that, right in line with that, are secondary leadership and people. Right. I think we all kind of have a wing, if you will, to our main thing.
I can add in. I think of this whole business, we got David Schmidt. He's our primary idea. He came up with the patch. I think that all of us on here are leaders hopping on this call. So I would say we kind of fall, or I fall into the secondary ideas where I'm taking out and I'm trying to share what David has already created. But then also with the people, I'm kind of torn between the secondary and people because I love working with people and everybody brings something to the
Yeah.
table. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you are people, but maybe it's around secondary ideas like myself, Yeah, for sure. People that are going back to thinking wavelength, like people that are, 7 and higher. And by the way, Joe's a 7.8, I'm an 8, like we're really high. You have to have your keepers, your miners, and your grinders in your life or you can't operate. Like any business that you like, if you had all miners and grinders, it'd be a stagnant business. But if you had all finders and conceivers, there'd be nothing getting done. Are you with me? So it's just how God created us. We all need one another. But that's the thing about this business is when you can find something out about somebody and you realize, oh, they want a task and they will accomplish the task. Well, then you can help lead them and coach them. Or, oh, they really need vision. Like you need to constantly be casting vision for them and sharing where we're going in the future. That's what inspires and gets them going. You can just understand people a whole lot better. So cool, guys. Well, that's 30 minutes. That went rather quick today, but did y'all like that? I thought that was I like that stuff. I think that's cool. Sweet. Good, good, good. Okay. Well, guys, appreciate you. Love you as always. Y'all go out and have an awesome Wednesday, and we'll talk soon.